Hi everyone. I want to introduce this math problem using Tangram puzzle pieces. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the Tangram puzzle pieces to try and match the house that you see in the middle of the screen here. So that's the challenge, is to make a house using Tangram pieces. So to find the Tangram pieces, you can go up to Tiles in the top left. We're in Mathagon Polypad is the name of the program. So I go to Tiles, and then I go to Geometry, and then I go down to Tangram. And what we're using are the classic Tangram pieces. And there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. And the goal here is to try and move those 7 pieces so they make this house exactly. So I'm going to take them out one at a time. The way Tangram works is that you have to use each piece once and only once. So you can't use the pieces twice, and you have to use all the pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're all different colors, so they're all different pieces. And so I have to figure out how to make them fit in on this house. So if you were doing this, you could also find this, by the way. You could also find this under Activities. So Activities, and then you can go down to Tangram Builder. And under Tangram Builder, there's all kinds of different puzzles that you can do with Tangrams. So we're doing the house right now, which is one of the basic Tangram puzzles. So we go back to Polypad and open up my Tangram house activity. One moment. Okay, so I have my activity open. and by the way, this is all under, like I said, Geometry, Tangrams, and here are the pieces. But since I dragged them all out here, I don't need this panel anymore. So I'm going to click on Tiles again just to hide it. So now I want to move these pieces so they fit exactly on the house. So hopefully by now you've had a chance to practice this on your own. And we will try doing it together now. Let's see. I'm going to try placing the big blue one first. I think that might be the roof of the house. So I rotate using that little handle, and then I can move it up into place. And it seems pretty good. The chimney looks like a square to me, but maybe rotate it. And that fits in pretty well. It might not look exactly perfect, but it's pretty good. Now I notice this shape here is like the orange parallelogram. So I'm going to grab this and see if I can rotate it and fit it in there. Yeah, there we go. So these pieces should also sort of fit together too when they're next to each other. Now this question, if I have all these triangles and I have to make a rectangle down here, now this is a little crazy. I'm going to start with the big triangle because I need to figure out how to make it fit. Does that work? No, it's too tall. It can't overlap, right? So they have to fit next to each other. They can't overlap. Can I do that? It also doesn't fit. Maybe if I put the flat part down. So there we go. Now that fits in there. And I have this other gray area to cover. I think I see where the purple goes. Seems like maybe it could go on either side. Go on this side, it could also go on this side, right? So there's probably a few different ways to solve this puzzle. And then these two triangles have to fit in this gray area here. So I think, let's see here, maybe if I flip this one upside down and rotate this one. There we go. So now that we have the puzzle solved, we're going to do some math with this puzzle. So one of the first questions I have for you, we're going to come up with some of our own questions, but the first question I have for you is this one. if the orange triangle is worth $1, how much is the house worth? So I'm going to let you think about that for a minute. You might even pause the video right now and maybe draw the house for yourself on a piece of paper, do some work on your own and see if you can answer that question for yourself before we do the next part. So why don't you hit pause on the video and try finding the answer to that question. So here's one way that I might think about how to answer that question. If the orange triangle is worth $1, how much is the house worth? So I want to think about that orange triangle and how it relates to the rest of the house. So one thing you might notice is that these different pieces, and I put the 7 different pieces from the Tangram, I put them in an order up here at the top. But you might notice that you can use the orange triangle or the small blue triangle, they're the same, but you can use the orange triangle to make the other shapes. So for example, let's say I wanted to make the square here using the orange triangle. I could copy the orange triangle, and so if I click on it once, click on copy, and I can now have another orange triangle that I can use. Now what if I just place this right over the top, and I'm going to do some rotating so it fits in. Is there a way that I can make it fit in on this square? I was thinking kind of this way. See how it fits just right in that corner, fits nicely? And then the other side is the same shape, it's just rotated. So I might click on that orange triangle again, or I could click on this orange triangle and click copy. Now I have another one, another triangle that I might figure out, can I place it on there exactly? How can I make that fit? And so what I notice now is that these two triangles together are the same size as one green square. So one thing you could say is that there's one triangle, or two triangles will fit into one square. And so, I don't know, I feel like I've answered another question here. If an orange triangle is worth $1, how much is the green square worth? And I think the answer would be $2. Right? Because if this is $1 and this is $1, it takes 2 of them to make the green square, so that would be $2. So then I think maybe let's think about how to build this house, maybe just by using orange triangles. Is that possible? Was there some way to figure out how much it all would add up to by thinking about how many orange triangles would fit in the whole house? So that's one of the questions that we're going to try and answer in class. Okay, good luck. I guess I'll put this back here for now. Okay, good luck.